thank you for doing a love story interview. You are the very first lesbian couple I've had, and I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Great, exciting.
Do you mind telling the viewers where you are and your names?
Yeah, well, we're in London, coming live from London, the UK, on the River Thames, in fact, not far from Buckingham Palace. And I'm Sarah. I'm from London originally, so not too far. And I'm Laura, and I'm from Idaho.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. So, how long have you ladies been together?
4.5 years.
Yeah, coming up.
Wow. And how did you meet? Were you already in London, or were you still in Idaho?
No, I was in London. I moved over after doing some of uni. My dad's British, so I've got a British passport. And it was my first job in London. We started on the same day. And we didn't like each other at first at all. I thought that she was just just quiet and not really, didn't have much about her. And I thought she was loud and kind of overly happy and a little bit too American for our nice, quiet English office. So you could always hear her wherever we were in the building. And I was just like, seriously, well, she made me look shyer. So, yeah, we didn't start off the best of friends. No.
How did you transition from working together to having a romantic relationship?
Well, we were friends, I guess. We all of a sudden became really good friends because we would spend 12-hour days together at work. And
I took it upon myself to kind of introduce Laura to England, the my England way, not kind of the tourist England way. So all the things that Laura had never heard of, like potato waffles, which are not waffles.
They're like waffle fries, but I didn't really understand. Probably was a thing over here.
So little things that kind of I'd grown up with, but kind of got that reaction whenever I mentioned them. And I was like, well, you can't have the English experience without, kind of knowing what England's about. So,
and then we had a shared love of Paris Hilton's British best friend, trash TV,
Okay.
And so we would, we'd always go over to Sarah's house to watch it, and then it just kind of transpired that I never really left her house.
Well, I found out she lived kind of in a cupboard. So when she came to London, she thought she was getting a great deal, kind of renting a room quite centrally, and when I went round, I realised they'd rented her the cupboard.
It's like Harry Potter's cupboard under the stairs. It was like big enough for a single bed and about a foot of room around it. I lived there for like 8 months. I just didn't think anything of it.
I was like, you can't even fit 2 people in this bedroom. This is not a bedroom. This is, a hall or a closet.
I'd sleep over her house. Thanks to a bit of Dutch courage, one night it went a bit further.
What is Dutch courage for?
Oh, alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, a night at a cocktail bar kind of got secrets flowing, and Laura kind of... Was it a lesbian thing you said you were interested in?
Yeah, I had like a to-do list of things that I wanted to do, and one of those things was to have a lesbian fling.
So I was going to be on the to-do list.
And the damn lesbian fling stuck around for 4.5 years. Can you believe that?
Before you two were together, had you, I guess, only been with men before that?
Yeah, I had, yeah. Ironically, until I moved to London, all my boyfriends were gay. Or, not at the time. Well, they were at the time, but not out at the time.
Yeah.
I was that person that they dated before they came out. And so I really think that that's really ironic that I then ended up a lesbian and ended up with a girl. And so it's really weird.
Your mom wasn't surprised.
No. And then when I told my mom, when I went to Australia with my family, after Sarah and I first got together, and I told my mom walking on the beach, and expected her to be fine with it, because they're very supportive and loving people. But she went, "Oh, I'm not surprised. I thought this might happen." I was like, what kind of reaction is that? And apparently I had an infatuation with the girl on my softball team when I was 10, and I didn't even know, I guess I remember thinking that it was really funny that she looked like a boy, and I think I kind of obviously had a bit of an infatuation with her, so yeah, I mean, I guess I think I always had those tendencies. I just didn't really kind of realize until I spent all this time around Sarah, and then didn't want her to go out with other people, and didn't want her to do, and to have other friends, like other good friends, So it was, just a funny thing.
So you kind of were in gay relationships before. It was just, they were just mixed sex. They were different genders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny because we've spoken about it, because equally I kind of played that both sides as well. Never really committed, but kind of always felt drawn to girls. But then I think because maybe social norms were kind of pushing me that way, I kind of felt that, you know, it was 16, you kind of have to get a guy, and that was kind of the way forwards. And I think none of my ex-boyfriends, not that there are many, have come out as gay, but they're definitely kind of towards the feminine end of the spectrum. They're all...
Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think somewhere down the line, it was funny when we got kind of your email, because when kind of thinking about what you're doing, we were saying it's so important, because growing up we never had that to relate to, so we just thought you end up with someone of the opposite sex, because that's what you have to do.
Didn't have like alternative role models or anything. Everyone was just kind of, especially in Idaho. and
I think kind of when you think of lesbians, you think of butch lesbians, and because I had no inclination of shaving my head or of kind of, you know, only wearing trousers or things like that, it didn't make sense in my head that I'd want to wear a dress, but I'd still be interested in girls. So it's kind of been a funny journey for us.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate your sentiment on the issue, because, you know, our pictures of gay people, as you're saying, with lesbians, they were always very butch, and with gay men, it was like very effeminate. When I look back at history, it's those people who simply could not hide who they were. You know, their physicality made them stand out so much.
I didn't feel like the stereotype, so I didn't think that I could be gay, because I wasn't like that. So kind of, then I must be straight, because that makes more sense. So, yeah.
How have your parents, how has your family responded?
No, not well. Well, when I first came out, I think I was watching one of the videos where you kind of said it was that excitement of being with someone that you really love, and you kind of want to shout it from the rooftops. And Laura had met my parents, but as a friend, and so they kind of presumed that us hanging out a lot was because we were great friends. We'd saved enough to go to Australia, and part of the reasoning behind that was because I knew my parents wouldn't take it well. And if I came out, I wanted it to be for the right reasons. So when we moved to Australia, we actually moved out there for a year together. And for me, it was kind of a real test of the relationship. And I knew if it worked out there, where it was literally us relying on each other, then it was the right thing. And so I met my mum in Bali, and told her, and it was pretty much the worst reaction I think you could ever expect to have. And pretty much got kicked out of the hotel room at about 1 a.m. in the morning, and told sort of not to ever mention it again, and to sort of, I guess, pretend I hadn't said it. And so for the 10 days we were in Bali, I wasn't allowed to mention Laura's name, wasn't allowed to go to the internet cafe in case I contacted her, the whole thing. And basically when I got back to Australia, I got bombarded and guilt-tripped about the fact that Laura had converted me to being a lesbian, and,
like 3 or 4 angry emails a day, and I was called the American and all of them.
Yeah, Laura wasn't named for about 2 years of our relationship. She kind of went from the American to that girl to the one, and so, but having said that, as of yesterday, I think yesterday was my 30th birthday, and it was the first time in 4.5 years Laura's been invited home, so it was a huge kind of step, because we got engaged at Christmas, the Christmas just gone. So it was kind of make or break time, because I kind of at that point had put a ring on it and was not letting Laura go. So they kind of had to choose me or her. So thankfully they accepted her.
Yeah,
well, accepted. They're working.
They're working. Yeah, Sarah's mom's probably started kind of trying to spend time with me, kind of trying to understand it a bit more, and at least know that though she may not agree, I'm not a horrible person, and I take good care of her daughter, which is really good. But her dad, I hadn't spoken to for like 3 years until yesterday, so but so it's good. It's a
work in progress.
That's it. Yeah.
There are a lot of parents who, when their kids come out, they are just clueless, as clueless as we were, and they want to understand. Maybe, it may take them a minute, but they don't know where to go to either, or, where to see where their kid is headed, potentially. So, okay, so let's get back to the love. So you got engaged, Christmas or New Year's? this past
Christmas, yeah, about the 20th of December.
Yeah. Well, mine was 22nd. I proposed to you on the 22nd. You proposed to me on the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about that, this dual proposal.
Well, we decided that we, both being quite feminine, both wanted to receive a proposal, as well as wanted to plan one for the other. So kind of chose our rings, and we picked them up when we got to Idaho last year for Christmas. And then we gave them to each other. So like Sarah had mine and I had hers. And we didn't know, but sometime over that 2-3 week period that we were at home, we were going to get proposed to. We were going to, plan a whole thing. So then Sarah proposed to me by, she was in cahoots with one of my friends, had her pick her up and take her up to Lucky Peak, which is a reservoir by our house. It's really beautiful. And she set up all these beautiful little hearts, and each one had something that she loved about me on it. And there's like 32 or something. And then she had a little playlist and some roses and Diet Coke, because that's like our thing. And then gave me a card, or my mom came in and gave me a card while I was getting ready for dinner, and it said to go up to Lucky Peak, and so I did. And then she proposed there, and she had our friend Allison film it with the whole thing, so we have it on video, which is really nice.
And then I invited her parents up, so I said kind of leave Laura to come up for like 40 minutes and then drive up. So just after I proposed, their car pulled up and they were able to come and get some photos, and so it worked really well. And 2 days later, Laura had organised with her mum, I think, was it your mum? And Dad, to take me up to the mountains because it was beautiful and snowy. There was about 5 foot of snow. We drove up and we were meant to be going on a mountain hike. And Laura had sent her dad ahead under the pretense of seeing if the trail was clear. So he'd kind of run off, and I'm kind of used to Laura's parents doing that. So I was like, okay. And then Laura's mum faked like dropping her camera or tying her shoe or something. So it ended up just being me and Laura walking through the woods. And then she laid out all these fairy lights that kind of ended in a heart. And then at the end of the heart, Laura dropped to one knee, and her dad was somewhere in the bushes.
Hidden in the trees.
Yeah, like videoing the whole thing. So we actually managed to get both proposals videoed as well. So I think it's up on YouTube, on our channel. But yeah, it worked out really well.
I've never heard a story like that ever from any couple. And I love that I love that your parents were in cahoots with you.
Yeah, it was great having them there on both times.
Yeah, they're so great, and they love Sarah like she's another daughter, a little British daughter. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, so when do you have a wedding date planned yet?
Yeah, it's the 28th of June next year.
It's so exciting. We could be lucky enough that it could be legal in both places, which would be amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool now that Domesday repealed that we could get a green card for Sarah and move to the States. It's amazing because that wasn't an option before. The thing that we wanted to also say was that I noticed in one of the other interviews that you put together about the reason it's so important to share love stories, and about how, it's not just knowing what a gay person looks like, but what a gay relationship looks like. And I think it's just, again, I wanted to kind of hit that point home, I guess, that it is really important for us to get out there on the internet where kids can look up, videos or our blog or things like that, and just see gay couple, and gay couples are
no
so
different.
Yeah.
No different to anyone else, and the fact that every couple's different.
Yeah.
But I think our friends especially, none of them kind of know other gay people, and so they're always really surprised at how ungay we are, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and that just means just based on their stereotype. And that's why it's so important that we get all sorts of different gay couples out there, doing things and being seen by people. And we've noticed, as I said, come from Idaho, it's pretty conservative, pretty Mormon and pretty religious, and we've had people congratulating us on our engagement and messaging us to say that, they sneakily read our blog and that they're so happy for us and that we've really kind of changed their minds or opened them up to new experiences and a new way of thinking.
Yeah, it's about not fearing the gays, I think, is kind of...
Yeah, people feel what they don't understand.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head, in my opinion. You have to have people put their faces out there and tell their stories so that we can enlighten people. Tell them where to find you.
Okay, yeah. You can find us at Sprezzatura. Well, the blog's called sprezzaturaourway.blogspot.co.uk, and our YouTube channel is sprezzatura_LNS. And it's, sprezzatura in itself, because it's an Italian word, and people are going to be like, what is that? I think it means making the most out of the little things, and that's what we try to do in our blog and our day-to-day life. Is we don't have as much money as other people or as much access to other things, but we make the most of every little moment. And
it's about being together. Being together is the most important thing. So if we're together, we can make the most of anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of our little mantra.
I love it. Well, ladies, thank you very much. I look forward to keeping up with you on your blog and watching your YouTube videos. Thank you for taking your time and giving me some of your life. I appreciate it.
No worries.
It's been amazing to meet you.
When I make it to London, hopefully this fall, we'll have to grab a beer and some potato waffles.
Right? Yeah. That would be an experience.
All right. Love on, ladies. Talk soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.